In the depths of the Great Depression, America trembled at the sound of Tommy guns. Among outlaws, one man stood out, not for charm, not for looks, but for being cold, calculating, and absolutely fearless. They called him creepy. But not because he was weird, because when he smiled, it sent chills down your spine. Alvin Karpis was born in 1907 in Montreal, Canada, and raised in Kansas. By 10, he was stealing. By 19, he was in jail. But this wasn't just a petty crook. Behind those sunken eyes and sharp cheekbones was a brain built for planning. In prison, he met Fred Barker, whose mother, Ma Barker, would later be wrongly branded as the gang's leader. In truth, Karpis called the shots. Did you know? Alvin Karpis had an IQ higher than Einstein's, reportedly over 130. Between 1931 and 1935, the Barker-Karpis Gang tore across the Midwest, robbing banks, looting payroll trains, and avoiding police like ghosts. But they didn't just rob. They leveled up to kidnapping millionaires. First target, William Ham, heir to Ham's Brewery, snatched in broad daylight. Ransom, $100,000. The gang got away clean. Then came Edward Bremer, a man so well connected even President Roosevelt knew him personally. This time, ransom, $200,000. Again, they vanished like smoke. The ransom bills were traced not through fingerprints, but through the serial numbers the gang forgot to destroy. One tiny mistake, and the feds were on fire. By 1934, Dillinger was dead. So was Pretty Boy Floyd. With Hoover desperate to prove the FBI's strength, Alvin Karpis was bumped to the top of the hit list. Fred and Ma Barker tracked down and killed in a brutal 4-hour shootout in Florida. But Karpis? He kept moving, changing cars, disguises, plans. He even studied FBI procedures to predict how they'd come after him. But the man who dodged death time after time was finally caught by the one guy who didn't even bring handcuffs. 1936, New Orleans. The FBI surrounded Karpis in his car. He was unarmed, eating a sandwich. Agents tackled him. J. Edgar Hoover, desperate for glory, rushed to the scene and insisted he made the arrest. But the truth? The agents forgot their handcuffs. So they tied up public enemy number 1 with a necktie. This was Hoover's only direct arrest in his entire career, and it was mostly staged. Karpis was sent to Alcatraz, America's most brutal prison. He stayed there 26 years, longer than Capone, Stroud, or any other inmate. No riots, no drama. Karpis read books, learned Spanish, and even taught guitar to a scrawny, intense young man named Charles Manson. Yes, that Manson. Karpis later wrote, he was a little runt, but he had ambition. Released in 1969, Karpis moved to Canada, then Spain. He died in 1979, alone from an overdose of sleeping pills. Whether it was suicide or an accident remains unknown, but Alvin Karpis was never about flash or fame. He didn't die young, he didn't get caught in a hail of bullets, he played the long game, and in the bloody chessboard of Depression-era crime, he was the last piece standing.